Not only is she set free on the Sabbath because of the fact that she pressed her way, she was set free on the Sabbath day because she was called forward. It's here in the text. Verse 12 says, when Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, woman, you are set free from your infirmity. It's here in the text, my sisters and brothers, after this woman presses her way to be in the synagogue, this local assembly where they were learning and gathering and worshiping God on the Sabbath, Jesus sees her in the audience. He notices her, she stands out, and maybe it's her condition that makes her stand out. Maybe if she didn't have her condition, she wouldn't stand out to the Lord. And see, the thing is, my sisters and brothers, the reason why I say that is that many of us are concerned about our conditions, and that's why we are in the background. This woman was called forward, and she was obedient to what the Lord told her to do. She was called forward. She was in the backdrop. Now, the way that the synagogue is set up, of course, you got to understand, my sisters and brothers, that they were separated by gender, right? So you have to understand that. And because of her condition, she would have positioned herself in a particular place as to where she would not be seen or heard. She was hiding out. Maybe she was one of the balcony saints. Maybe she was one of the folk just standing just close enough to hear what Jesus had to say. But she was not in a position where she was already at the front, which is why Jesus had to call her forward. She was hanging out in the background. Y'all got to understand this thing. This woman was hanging out in the background, trying to be in a place where she wasn't noticed, trying to be in a place where she wasn't viewed, trying to be in a place where she wasn't a disruption. And Jesus stops the lesson to call her forward. Isn't that something? Because sometimes that's what the Lord does in our lives. We are doing our level best to try to stay out of the spotlight, doing our level best to stay away from gathering and garnering attention, and yet the Lord will shine the spotlight right where we are and call us forward. See, the thing is, my sisters and brothers, the reason why God calls us forward, it may not necessarily be just for us, but it's also for those who are watching what's going on. You have to understand that Jesus is in the middle of a lesson on the Sabbath day. Now, the Bible doesn't tell us what Jesus was teaching, but I believe that Jesus used some examples in real life, using this woman and her lived experience to help people to understand the power of God. You see, because the reality is, no matter what Jesus was teaching about, I'm sure folk walked away with a lesson of what the Lord can do on that day. Because when Jesus called her forward, she made her way to the front, also still struggling with her condition. Jesus didn't free her from the background. I'm going to let y'all sit with that. Jesus did not free her from the background, but he called her to the front and then set her free. He called her forward and then set her free. She was in the margins, and Jesus called her front and center. And I like this, my sisters and brothers, because a whole lot of folk want to be seen and heard. But I like it when Jesus calls forth folk who've been trying to just stay out of the way. We live in a day and age where folk always want to have attention on them. They want likes, they want attention, they want to be seen, they want to be heard, not recognizing that if you live by that sword, you also die by that sword. That the same people who'll be praising you one day, they'll be talking about your business the next. But here we see that Jesus calls this woman forward, not so that she can be the center of attention, but so she can be an example of what the Lord could do in all of our lives. We have the story of this woman because of the fact that she was called forward. Attention was placed on her. Folk had their eyes set on her. They were wondering, why is it that Jesus called her name, brought her forward with all that she had been dealing with, and trust and believe, y'all, I don't have to be there. It doesn't have to be in the text for us to know that there were some people whispering to themselves, asking, why would Jesus call her to the front? Yet, when Jesus called, she answered. When Jesus gave her the command to come forward, even with her weakness, even with her infirmity, even with her issues, she decided to trust the Lord.